Have you ever tried to say something like someone, everything, or maybe just a few things in Portuguese and kind of froze? You're definitely not alone. So today, we're going to break down these indefinite words and make them feel way more simple and, intuitive. Let's dive in. So, let's kick things off with a little drama. Just imagine hearing this. Alguém me roubou a carteira. Someone stole my wallet. Whoa. That first word, alguém, is everything here. You don't know who stole it, just that someone did. And that, right there, is an indefinite word in action. It's perfectly vague. Now, here's the great news. All of these Portuguese indefinite words are actually super easy to organize. Seriously, it all boils down to two main families. You've got the ones that change their shape and the ones that always stay the same. Once you get that simple split, you've pretty much cracked the code. So what exactly are these words doing? Well, their job is to talk about quantity or existence or identity, but in a really general, non-specific way. Think about phrases like some people or nothing at all or for any reason. We're not pointing a finger at anyone or anything specific. Okay, so to make this super memorable, let's call these two families the chameleons and the constants. The variable words are our chameleons. They literally change their color, or in this case their ending, to match whatever noun they're with. And then you have the invariable words, the constants. These guys are solid as a rock. They never, ever change. All right, first up, let's talk about our chameleons, the variable indefinites. The number one rule you have to remember for these is that they must agree with the noun they're describing. They have to match its gender and its number. It's their whole deal. And you can see exactly how this works right here. Take a word like muito, which means much or many. You can see it has 4 different forms: muito, muita, muitos, and muitas. You just have to pick the one that matches the noun you're talking about. It's super logical when you see it laid out like this. Here's a perfect example in the wild. Todos os meus amigos vieram à festa. Okay, so the word for friends, amigos, is masculine and it's plural. So the word for all has to be the masculine plural version. Todos. See? The chameleon has perfectly matched its surroundings. Let's try another one, this time with a feminine noun. A avó tem muita paciência, mas o avô tem pouca paciência. The noun paciência is feminine and singular. So what happens? Both muita and pouca get that feminine A ending. They just agree. It's as simple as that. Okay, you've totally got the chameleons down. So let's move on to our second group, the invariable indefinites, or as we call them, the constants. And trust me, this is the easy part. The rule for these words is, well, it's incredibly simple. They are constants. They do not change for gender. They do not change for number. Ever. What a relief, right? No matching required. And really, we're talking about 4 main players in this family. When you're talking about people, you've got alguém for someone and ninguém for no one. And when you're talking about things, it's tudo for everything and nada for nothing. That's basically it. They always look just like this. So let's see one in a sentence. Ele comeu tudo. He ate everything. Now, in this case, everything means the soup, the steak, the rice, the fruit. But it doesn't matter. It can be one thing or 10 things, masculine or feminine. Tudo stays tudo. It's a constant. And it's the exact same deal when we're talking about people. Ninguém me disse o que se passava. No one told me what was happening. It doesn't matter if it was men, women, one person, or 100 people who didn't tell you. The word ninguém never, ever changes its form. All right, for this last section, we're going to have a little face-off. I found that seeing these concepts as direct opposites, side by side, is a really powerful way to make them just click in your brain for good. First round, alguém versus ninguém. So on one hand, you have the positive statement, está alguém no escritório. Someone is in the office. And its perfect opposite, não está ninguém no escritório. No one is in the office. It's a perfect pairing. Now let's do the same thing for, well, things. Tudo versus nada. Just imagine. As crianças desarrumaram tudo. The kids messed up everything. And the direct opposite, as crianças não desarrumaram nada. They messed up nothing. It's such a clean and simple swap. Okay, now let's look at a variable pair. Encontramos muitas pessoas means we met many people. And the opposite of that, encontramos poucas pessoas. We met few people. And notice how both muitas and poucas end with that as? That's because there are chameleons, and they have to agree with the feminine plural noun, pessoas. And for our final face-off, some versus none. You might ask, há algum feriado este mês? Is there any holiday this month? And the sad answer could be, não há nenhum feriado este mês. There is no holiday this month. It's another perfect set of opposites. Okay, I know that was a whirlwind, so let's just lock in the key takeaways. First, you're going to use these words for non-specific stuff. Second, always remember those two big families, variable and invariable. Third, the variable words are chameleons. They have to agree. And finally, the invariable words are constants, and they never, ever change. And there you have it. That's our deep dive into Portuguese indefinites. So I'll just leave you with this final question, which actually uses one of our new words. Tens alguma pergunta? Do you have any questions? Now you know exactly what that means and why alguma is the right chameleon for the job. Thanks so much for watching.